Hello BookTube, it's Leah Cooper here, and today I am bringing you a book review of The Rules and Regulations of Mediating Myths and Magic by F.T. Lukens. And wow, that is a mouthful. I'm pre-filming this video, but it should be going up on September 7th, which is the release date for this book. It's being published by Duet Press, which is an imprint of Interlude Press, which is a niche LGBTQIA plus publisher. So Duet Books is specifically the YA arm of this publisher. So I received an ARC copy of this book through NetGalley, but all of the opinions are 100% my own. Bridger Witt is an ordinary, slightly geeky, mostly straight high school student until a beautiful, sweet high school football player moves in across the street from him. Senior year begins, and Bridger has all these feelings for his neighbor, and he's struggling with this new understanding of his identity. He explicitly identifies himself as bisexual, but he's really crushing on this other boy, and he's afraid of what people would say if they found out, what his mother would say. He comes from a single parent home, his father has abandoned them, and he lives in a small town in Michigan. So instead of coming out, Bridger honestly just wants to keep his head down, crush his feelings for this other kid, get through senior year, and his plan is to go to a college out of state where he can kind of just start over as a queer identified kid, where people won't know him, where it'll be more accepted, and he just won't have to deal with kind of all of that drama and all of that potential pain, heartbreak of being rejected. To this end, he's desperate for money to pay for college, so he decides to answer this really strange job advertisement that asks him to climb up to the third story of this weird Victorian mansion and climb in through the blue door. And he does this because he's desperate for the money. And little does he know that by doing this, it's going to plunge him into this crazy world of supernatural and cryptozoological creatures. So I gave this book 4 stars. For the most part, I thought it was real cute. Not the most sophisticated book ever, but just cute. Bridger starts working for this guy that he quickly finds out is an intermediary between the cryptozoological world and the modern world. And his job is to keep ordinary humans from finding out about cryptozoologicals. Things I liked in this book: it has a lot of positive rep, it has explicit bi rep, which is great. It has really cute characters, it has a lot of positive interactions, positive representation. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah. And it has a lot of, fun cryptos and interactions with supernatural creatures. Nothing radically game-changing, I have to say that. But it's just kind of cute and fluffy and a quick read. Things I wasn't super keen on: there is one interpersonal conflict between Bridger and a friend of his that blew up real quickly, out of nowhere blew up, and then they kind of just brush it under the rug. It's never resolved or really discussed between the two characters. Like I said, they just kind of brush it under the rug, and so that just felt kind of rushed and sloppy. There's a little bit of waffling with his character and the decisions he makes, especially near the end, that again just kind of felt sloppy and lacked nuance. So like I said, it's not the most sophisticated book ever. However, it's specifically aimed at teens, and I would definitely feel comfortable giving this to a teen to read. I mean, I would highly recommend it, in fact, to teens to read, especially maybe on the younger side of the YA scale, if that makes sense. And just in general, we can always use more positive, decently well-written fantasy books. Technically, I would probably give this more like a 3.5 stars, and I'm rounding up to a 4 star just because it's a little clunky in places. But I was entertained for the whole time, so that's why I'm kind of giving it 4s. I would recommend, I think if you liked some of the other queer YA that's been coming out of Interlude Press, like Not Your Sidekick or something, you'll probably like this as well. If you like Bone Gap, I think you would like this. This is not nearly as abstract in some aspects as Bone Gap, and it's not quite as nuanced in other ways as Bone Gap, but they're kind of the same little subgenre of what I would like to call contemporary small town fantasy. kind of hard to categorize, but yeah. I don't think I've really read enough queer YA to really give this good recommendations. You know, one of my favorite books is Monster by Aileen Martinez. This has a little bit of a similar feel, but it's, you know, the cute, fluffy YA, not super dark version of it. And in some respects, it also has kind of like a little bit of a librarian feel with the whole intermediary. That is definitely a genuinely cool concept in this story. So, new release from Interlude Press. Gets a thumbs up from me. 4 stars. Check it out if you're looking for a cute, fluffy, queer, cryptozoological adventure story, basically. So let me know if you've read this book and what you thought about it, or if I've inspired you to check it out. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.